Good morning, friends. Welcome to our weekly read and discuss session. Today, we are going to start reading a new book, The Untethered Soul The Journey Beyond Yourself by Michael A. Singer. Uh, so, I'll just start with acknowledgement, introduction. This, above all, to deign oneself to be true, and it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man. William Shakespeare. Shakespeare's age-honored words, spoken by Polonius to his son Laertes in Act 1 of Hamlet, sound so clear and unambiguous. They tell us that to maintain honest relationship with others, we must first be true to ourselves. Yet, if Laertes were to be totally honest with himself, he would realize that his father may as well have told him to catch the wind. After all, to which self are we to be true? Is it the one that shows up when we are in a bad mood, or the one that is present when we feel humbled by our mistakes? Is it the one who speaks from the dark recesses of the heart when we are depressed or upset, or the one that appears during those fleeting moments when life seems so fancy and light? From these questions, we see the concept of self may turn out to be a bit more elusive than initially presumed. Perhaps if Laertes could have turned to traditional psychology, it would have shed some light on the subject. Freud, 1927, the father of psychology, divided the psyche in three parts: the ID, the ego, and the superego. He saw the ID as a primal animal nature, the superego as the judgment system that society has instilled within us, and the ego as our representative to the outside world that struggles to maintain a balance between the other two powerful forces. But this certainly would not have helped young Laertes. After all, to which of these conflicting forces are we to be true? Again, we see that things are not always as simple as they seem. If you dare to look past the surface of the term self, questions arise that many people would rather not ask. Are the many aspects of my well being all equally part of myself, or there is only one of me? And if so, which, where, how, and why? In the following chapters, we will undertake a journey of exploration of self, but we will not do so in a traditional manner. We will neither call upon the expert in psychology nor upon the great philosophers. We will not argue and choose between time honored religious views or resort to statistically supported survey of people's opinion. We will instead turn to a single source that has phenomenal direct knowledge on the subject. We will turn on to one expert who, for every moment of every day of their life, has been collecting the data necessary to finally put this great inquiry to rest. And that expert is you. But before you get too excited or decide that you are not up to the task, first be clear that we are not after your views or opinion on the subject. Neither are we interested in that what books you have read, classes you have taken, nor seminars you have attended. We are only interested in your intuitive experience of what it is like to be you. We are not looking for your knowledge, we are seeking your direct experience. You see, we can't fail at this because yourself is what you are at all the times and in all places. We simply need to sort it out. After all, it can get quite confusing in there. The chapters of this book are nothing but mirrors of seeing yourself from different angles. And through the journey we are about to embark on this in a is an inner one. It will draw upon every aspect of your life. The only requirement asked if you is the willingness to honestly look at yourself in the most natural, intuitive manner. Remember, if we are seeking the root of self, What we are actually seeking is you. As you read through the pages, you will find that you know much more than you thought you did about some very deep subjects. The fact is, you already know how to find yourself. You have just gotten distracted and disoriented. Once refocused, you will realize that you not only have the ability to find yourself, you have the ability to free yourself. Whether you choose to do so or not is entirely up to you. But upon completion of your journey through these chapters, you will no more more confusion, no more lack of empowerment, and no more blaming others. You will know exactly what must be done. And should you choose to devote yourself to the ongoing journey of self-realization, you will develop a tremendous sense of respect for those for who you are. It only it is only then that you will come to appreciate the full depth of meaning in the advice. The vow are all to thine oneself to be true. Part 1, Awakening Consciousness. The voice inside your head. Shoot, I can't remember her name. What is her name? Damn. Here she comes. What is it? Sally? Sue? She just told me yesterday. What is the matter with me? This is going to be embarrassing. In this case, you haven't noticed you have a mental dialogue going on inside your head that never stops. It just keeps on going and going. Have you ever wondered why it talks in there? How does it decide that it to say and when to say it? How much of what it says turns out to be true? How much of what it says is even important? And if right now you are hearing, I don't know what you're talking about, I don't have any voice inside my head. That's the voice we are talking about. If you're smart, you will take the time to step back, examine this voice, get it to know it better. The problem is you're too close to be objective. You have to step away back, watch it converse while you are driving. You hear internal conversation like, wasn't I supposed to call Fred? I should have. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot. He is going to be so mad. He is going to be so mad. He may never talk to me again. Maybe I should stop and call him right now. No, I don't want to stop the car right now. Notice the voices takes both sides of the conversation. It doesn't care which side it takes, just as long as it gets to keep on talking. When you are tired and trying to sleep, it's the voice inside your head that says, what am I doing? I can't go to sleep yet. I forgot to call Fred. I remembered on in the car, but I didn't call. If I don't call now, oh wait, it's too late. I shouldn't call him now. I don't even know why I thought about it. I need to fall asleep. Oh shoot, now I can't fall asleep. I'm not tired anymore, but I have a big day tomorrow and I have to get up early. No wonder you can't sleep. Why do you even tolerate that voice talking to you all the time? Even if what it's saying is soothing and nice, it's still disturbing everything you are doing. If you spend some time observing this mental voice, the first thing you'll notice is that it never shuts up. When to its own, it just talks. Imagine if you are were to someone talking around you, constantly talking to yourself, you would think he's strange. You would wonder. If he's the one who's talking and he's the one who's listening, he obviously knows what's going to be said before he says it. So what's the point? The same is true for the voice inside your head. Why is it talking? It's you who are talking, it's you who are listening. And when this voice argues with itself, who is arguing with? You could possibly win. It gets very confusing. Just listen. I think I should get married. No, you know you are not ready. You'll be sorry, but I love him. Oh, come on, you felt the way about Tom. What if you had married him? If you watch carefully, you will see it's just trying to find a comfortable place to rest. It will change sides in a moment if that seems to help, and it doesn't even quiet down when it finds that it's wrong. It simply adjusts its viewpoint, keeps on going. If you pay attention, these mental patterns will become obvious to you. It's actually a shocking realization when you first notice that your mind is constantly talking. You might even try to yell at it in a feeble attempt to shut it up, but then you realize that voice yelling at the voice. That's the voice yelling at the voice. Shut up, I want to go to sleep. Why do you have to talk all the time? Uh, I'll stop here. Do you want to go next, Wendy?
Obviously, you can't shut it that way. Uh-oh. Oh, getting an echo. The best way, the best way to free yourself from this incessant chatter. Oops, I'm getting an echo.
Okay, I'll do this and you come back in. How's that?
All right.
Obviously, you can't just shut up. You can't shut it up that way. The best way to free yourself from this incessant chatter is to step back and view it objectively. Just view the voice as a vocalizing mechanism that is capable of making it appear like someone is in there talking to you. Don't think about it, just notice it. No matter what the voice is saying, it's all the same. It doesn't matter if it's saying nice things or mean things, worldly things or spiritual things. It doesn't matter because it's still just a voice talking inside your head. In fact, the only way to get your distance from this voice is to stop differentiating what it's saying. Stop feeling that one thing it says is you and the other thing it says is not you. If you're hearing it talk, it's obviously not you. You're the one who hears the voice. You're the one who notices that it is talking. You do hear it when it talks, don't you? Make it say hello right now. Say it over and over a few times. Now, shout it inside. Can you hear yourself saying hello inside? Of course you can. There is a voice talking, and there is you who notice the voice talking. The problem is that it's easy to notice the voice saying hello, but it's difficult to see that no matter what the voice says, it's still just a voice talking and you listening. There is absolutely nothing that voice can say that is more you than anything else it says. Suppose you were looking at three objects, a flower pot, a photograph, and a book, and were then asked, which of these objects is you? You'd say, none of them. I'm the one who's looking at what you're putting in front of me. It doesn't matter what you put in front of me, it's always going to be me looking at it. You see, it's an act of a subject perceiving various objects. This is also true of hearing the voice inside. It doesn't make any difference what it's saying. You are the one who is aware of it. As long as you think that one thing is saying is you, but the other thing is saying is not you, you've lost your objectivity. You may want to think of yourself as the part that says the nice things, but that's still the voice talking. You may like what it says, but it's not you. There is nothing more important to true growth than realizing that you are not the voice of the mind. You are the one who hears it. If you don't understand this, you will try to figure out which of the many things the voice says is really you. People go through so many changes in the name of trying to find myself. They want to discover which of these voices, which of these aspects of the personality is who they really are. The answer is simple: none of them. If you watch it objectively, you will come to see that much of what the voice says is meaningless. Most of the talking is just a waste of time and energy. The truth is that most of life will unfold in accordance with forces far outside of your control, regardless of what your mind says about it. It's like sitting down at night and deciding whether you want the sun to come up in the morning. The bottom line is the sun will come up and the sun will go down. Billions of things are going on in this world. You can think about it all you want, but life is going to keep on happening. In fact, your thoughts have far less impact on this world than you would like to think. If you're willing to be objective and watch all your thoughts, you will see that the vast majority of them have no relevance. They have no effect on anything or anybody except you. They're simply making you feel better or worse about what is going on. what has gone on in the past or what might go on in the future. If you spend your time hoping that it doesn't rain tomorrow, you are wasting your time. Your thoughts don't change the rain. You will someday come to see that there is no use for that incessant internal chatter, and there's no reason to constantly attempt to figure everything out. Eventually, you will see that the real cause of the real cause of problems is not life itself. It is the commotion the mind makes about life that is really causes problems. Now, this raises a serious question. If so much of what the voice says is meaningless and unnecessary, then why does it even exist? The secret to answering this question lies in understanding why it says when it says it. For example, in some cases, the mental voice talks for the same reason that a tea kettle whistles. That is, there's a buildup of energy inside that needs to be released. If you watch objectively, you will see that when there's a buildup of nervous, fearful, or desire-based energies inside, the voice becomes extremely active. This is easy to see when you are angry with someone and you feel like telling them off. Just watch how many times the inner voice tells them off before you even see them. When energy builds up inside, you want to do something about it. The voice talks because you're not okay inside, and talking releases energy. You will notice, however, that even when you're not particularly bothered by something, it will still talk. It still talks. When you are walking down the street, it says things like, "Look at that dog. It's a Labrador. Hey, there's another dog in that car. He looks a lot like my first dog, Shadow. Whoa, there's an Oldsmobile. It's got Alaska plates. You don't see many of those down here." It is actually narrating the world for you. But why do you need this? You already see what's happening outside. How does this help to repeat it to yourself through the mental voice? You should examine this very closely. With a simple glance, you instantly take in the tremendous detail of whatever you're looking at. If you see a tree, you effortlessly see the branches, the leaves, and the flowering buds. Why then do you have to verbalize what you've already seen? Look at the dogwood. The green leaves are so beautiful against the white flowers. Look how many flowers there are. Wow, it's so full. What you will see if you study this carefully is that the narration makes you feel more comfortable with the world around you. Like backseat driving, it makes you feel as though things are more in your control. You actually feel like you're having some relationship with them. A tree is no longer just a tree in the world that has nothing to do with you. It is a tree that you saw, labeled, and judged. By verbalizing it mentally, you brought that initial direct experience of the world into the realm of your thoughts. Then it becomes integrated with your other thoughts, such as those making up your value systems and historical experiences. Take a moment to examine the difference between your experience of the outside world and your interactions with the mental world. When you're just thinking, you're free to create whatever thoughts you want in your mind, and these thoughts are expressed through the voice. You're very accustomed to settling into the playground of the mind and creating and manipulating thoughts. This inner world is an alternate environment that is under your control. The outside world, however, marches to its own laws. When the voice narrates the outside world to you, those thoughts are now side by side in parity with your thoughts. All these thoughts intermixing actually influence your experience of the world around you. When you end up experiencing what you end up experiencing is really a personal presentation of the world according to you rather than the stock, unfiltered experience of what is really out there. The mental manipulations of the outer experience allow you to buffer reality as it comes in. For example, there are myriad things that you see at any given moment, yet you only narrate a few of them. The ones you discuss in your mind are the ones that matter to you. With the subtle form of pre-processing, you manage to control the experience of reality so that it all fits together inside your mind. Your consciousness is actually experiencing your mental model of reality, not reality itself. Okay. Oh, is that Wendy?
Yeah, she's saying something.
I was just thinking I should invite her. Should I do that?
Yeah, she is having problem. My video screen flickering, so I had to get out of the call and restart my computer. Sorry.
Okay.
Starting.
So she can't come in then?
I'm back. I'm back.
Oh, okay.
You know what happened? My screen started to flicker. So I had to restart, and then I heard an echo, so I had to restart the whole thing. And then I got those messages again that said you're not allowed to join the video call, and the video call ended because of an error. Sorry about that. So where are we?
Yeah, I'm trying to do you know where we are at? I lost. I was trying to.
Oh no.
Get the page number.
Yeah. So I know like page number. So just before. So it's the last page before chapter 2.
Oh, okay.
So you have to watch this very carefully because it's take a moment to examine the difference between yourself, your experience of the outside world, and your interaction with the mental body.
It goes very fast on my computer. The pages.
Oh, okay.
Did you find it yet? Oh, okay. Okay, have you found it, Wendy? It's page 18. Page 18 of page 122. Is Wendy still there? Did we lose her again?
She's typing something. No, I think she's not there. Yeah.
Okay, let me try to invite her one more time. Oh, Wendy, you're back.
All right. Now I've got it straightened out.
Okay, good. So we're on page 18. It's just
18.
Page 18. It's just before chapter 2.
All right.
I just finished reading. You will come to see that the mind talks all the time. Actually, I haven't read that. Oh, okay. So the second last chapter in the book, in the page 18, before chapter 2.
Yeah. All right. So where are we?
Okay.
Oh, you said you will come to see?
Yeah, you will come to see.
You read that?
No, I haven't read that. I thought I did, but I haven't.
Oh, that's where you left off?
Yeah.
You will come to see that the mind talks all the time because you gave it a job to do. You use it as a protection mechanism, a form of defense. And ultimately, it makes you feel more secure. As long as that's what you want, you will be forced to constantly use your mind to buffer yourself from life instead of living it. This world is unfolding and really has very little to do with you or your thoughts. It was here long before you came, and it will be here long after you leave. In the name of attempting to hold, really just trying to hold yourself together. True personal growth is about transcending the part of you that is not okay and needs protection. This is done by constantly remembering that you are the one inside that notices the voice talking. This is the way out. That is the way out. The one inside who is aware that you are always talking to yourself about yourself is always silent. It is a doorway to the depths of your being. To be aware that you are watching the voice talk is to stand on the threshold of a fantastic inner journey. If used properly, the same mental voice that has been a source of worry, distraction, and general neurosis can become the launching ground for true spiritual awakening. Come to know the one who watches the voice, and you will come to know one of the great mysteries of creation. All right, I'll stop here.
Okay. Is that today?
Yeah.
Okay. So we are at page 19, chapter 2.
So this introduction, yeah, I like it. It basically talking like mostly about what goes in our mind. Definitely the chatter, the inner voice, the constant talking, chattering, not staying in the present, and always that conversation that is happening in our mind. Uh, yeah, I totally agree with him that the conversation never stops, even if you're driving the car or eating or just even talking. Something is going in your mind always. Uh, Hopefully, yeah. After reading the book, if I can reduce that chatter, it would be great. Okay, that's it from my side. Do you want to go next, Julie?
Yeah, there's two things that stood out. One is I think in the spiritual or meditational practice, what he's talking about is that we want to awaken the observing self,
Mm-hmm.
and the observing self is always there, and it's a level of intelligence that has more equanimity, more serenity, and less judgment because it's just there to observe. Um, so what he's saying is like there's the neurotic self, there's the ego, there's a using Freud's terms, the super ego, and the it. But above all that, uh, as a superstructure, if you will, is the observing self. And he's inviting us to wake up the observing self and be active from that world. And I guess I have three things to say. The second thing is when he talks about experience is first there's the raw experience, and then you take it in and you relate it to your experience. And then the third one is you put it inside your value system. It's actually a three-step process in a couple of things. In the Buddha psychology, it's called the first nan, second nan, and the third nan, N-E-N. The first nan is just the experience itself. The second one is it pleasant or unpleasant, and the third nan is you bring your whole story to it, so it's no longer direct experience, immediate experience. The truth is, it happens all the time. When you look at a photograph, if you look at a raw pixel print photograph, it just looks like a bunch of dots. So it's our mind that eliminates certain information and filter it, as he says, that comes up with a image that's meaningful to us. So a lot of our senses are designed to eliminate and organize information. But as they do that, as he says, much of the raw experience is no longer available to us. So the whole idea of the observer self is to be able to tap into the more unfiltered experience or more possibilities are available to us, and less judgmental. And the third point is, he says, the forces of the universe are beyond our control. Like the sun comes out, the sun goes down, and we're really just like there to experience it almost. There are some things we can do, but a lot of the times we're trying to control things we cannot control. So part of the observer self is part of activating the observing self is being able to let go of that we cannot control. And in Zen, people make fun of it. What they say is, you can sit in meditation and the grass will grow. The grass doesn't grow based on your efforts. It doesn't based on what you think. The grass just grows independent of you. So that's what I think. What I got when he says the sun comes up and the sun go down. So this book is really about liberating from a conventional self and activating our observing self. So that's great. Thanks. I'm looking forward to reading the rest of it. Oh,
Yeah.
Well, there was a couple of things that I was thinking about. We were reading the beginning part of this, actually. One has to do with those of us like me who are in wheelchairs, who have permanent problems, permanent disabilities. People at times think that we're supposed to just be quiet and not complain about anything and not express our emotions. And that's, we don't like that.
yeah.
That's not really who we are. We're not. They think we're supposed to be something that we're really not. They have this preconceived idea about how people with physical disabilities are supposed to be, and it's a lot of times not right. And the other thing is, I was thinking of the movie Mulan, even though I've really never seen it. There's a song in there, Reflection, and there's a line in the song that says, "If I were to be who I really am," the gist of it is, if she were to be who she really is, she would break her family's hearts. So she really can't be who she is without upsetting her family, and she doesn't want to upset her family. So, what does she do? That's it. That's it.
What was the movie?
Mulan. It's a Disney movie.
Oh, Mulan. Yeah.
Mulan.
Oh, yeah. She's on. I know. Yeah, of course.
I've never seen it, but I've heard the song a lot of times, and that's what I was thinking about.
But of course, she went on and became who she really was.
Yeah.
She became a soldier.
Oh, okay.
A general.
Okay.
So.
All right. That's it.
Great. Thanks.
Okay, so coming back to our commenting part.
Okay, comment.
Yes, so for me, again this week I'll continue yoga. It's the first part. Second part is I'm going to I have always said with the exam which I'm giving, but I'm not getting enough time to read. But I'm doing something about work, so I'm instead of, so I'm focusing more on the work. There is a lot of work that we can do, but there is a balance that comes okay, work or personal growth. So this AWS certification is more on the personal growth side. So I'm going to little bit focus on that one as I have to do. The third part is I always planning to read some book which is apart from technical. Generally, that also is not happening much. Apart from our weekly book reading. So I'll planning to do some, read some chapter, something about something other than technical. Apart from that, nothing more. Just continue the routine. Do you want to go next, Wendy?
Since we've gotten our new social services person, the schedule's kind of changed. Coloring used to be on every couple of weeks, but she's not here Monday, so now we have to do it on. She's only here Tuesday and Thursday, so we have to do it on one of those 2 days. And it looks like it's going to be Tuesday. But this week I've got the exterminator coming, so that's. So I don't know. Well, I guess if I go in the afternoon, I can do it. But then Thursday is yoga. And I think my sister's going to be coming sometime this week. She hasn't been here all week, so that's. Other than that, it's the exercise and the studying. And that's it.
Okay. So I'm going to follow up on calling the other doctor for the appointment and follow up. I left a message for the doctor in Stanford, but she didn't call me back. They didn't call me back yet. And I'm going to, and then I'm going to Google and look up Gerber dancing because that sounded really interesting.
Yes.
I'm going to celebrate my husband's birthday and then continue my sound, stretch, energy practice. That's it.
Okay, that's it then. We'll see you next week.
Yep.
See you next week. Thank you.
Yep.
Happy birthday to your husband, Julie.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
My nephew's birthday is this week.
Whose birthday?
Yeah. No, my nephew's. It's gonna
Oh,
be
your
30.
nephew. Okay.
It's gonna be 30. It's gonna be 30.
Oh, my son's
Friday.
32.
Oh, okay.
So.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Have a good one.
Yep. You
Bye.
too.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye. I'm glad. Oh, too. I'm glad I can serve as we can serve as anchor for you.
Yeah.
You come. That's great.
Oh,
Thank you.
Love it. Thank you.
bye.
Bye.